bottom up, so
Right.
you don't see no screws, no hardware. I don't like fasteners.
The thing we did in this room is to enhance the views out there. It's all been wire wheeled, all been wired. This was a lot of work. So not to overdo the wire wheeled thing, all of this is not wire wheeled. This is just finished without that added distressed look.
Yeah.
And in fact, yeah, I think it makes a nice contrast having the sill distressed in this way, but having the paneling
Smoother and-
sort of a softer look. With was in fact the old cabin wall here, because that was one wall. That's the last remaining remnant of the old cabin built in the 1920s, the fireplace. And what Jack did is put up this alder paneling, light alder paneling, to transform this great room into a lighter room. It was all dark pine before this, and it was horizontally laid. We put this vertically, so it's transformed the whole great room. The latest project was this window bench here. We had the stereo components here on a shelf, which didn't really do much to enhance the view outside. So instead, Jack built this window bench, the view beyond that. And then, yes, this lifts up, and I use it to put the cushions for the patio chairs in here. And then continuing on, including these cabinets here, which are the remnants of an old set of cabinets along this wall. They were built in. The wood was still good, and Jack is very resourceful. He took that wood and used it to make new cabinets to fit this room, which was kind of turned around. Now graces this den with its beautiful, beautiful grain. And we trimmed all the way around the window with that beautiful wood, and then continued it on. We had more of the Doug fir, and we used it here to make these shelves. And so Jack built these windowsills here. This is also alder, like we used in the front room, but I wanted a different look in this room, and so consequently this is not wire willed, but it is, we just conditioned it with water-based to keep it light, because I didn't want a contrast between this and the outside color, again, so as not to distract from the view out there. Jack also installed this Cars oak flooring here, and over an electric radiant heating mat. So this also lightened the room. Back up here is distressed or blue stained ponderosa pine. Say that behind this wall and behind this wall here is a lot of work that we did in terms of soundproofing, all to dampen the noise coming from either bedroom, because the beds are really back to back in this bedroom and the adjoining one. Jack built in these drawers and shelves. I have my own cabinets here that could be locked when I'm gone. Do in terms of this alder, and particularly this wire-willed alder. So we did it on the desk. Obviously that's not the best thing to write on, so he put in this glass sort of writing surface, if you will, for things like my printer, shelving here for my laptop, also locks on a lot of these where I can just keep my paper and personal things, and when I'm not here, just lock it up and not worry about it.
As you can see, there's no wires.
Mm-hmm. Right. Shelves here, the drawers, again, all with this sort of soft close. You can see this. These are some beautiful alder doors that Jack put in to replace the very simple kind of louvered bifold doors that I had here before. So they open like this, now are the same as the paneling around. And this all used to be very dark up in here. Again, this was pine, dark pine, and so we have transformed this whole room, making it lighter with this beautiful light alder wood. Flooring here, as he did in the other bedroom. Again, over electric radiant floor heating. And up here, let me point this out up here. You don't really notice this here, but for guests, I did needed some way to provide them privacy, and consequently then, but I didn't want curtains here to, how should I say, distract from the view. So the solution was to get shades, all right, that could just be pulled down, but that you couldn't see when they were up.
Life is four-letter dream. Is what it is, not what it seems to be.
It was falling apart. We needed to rebuild this because the old table, the holes weren't large enough and it was choking these tree trunks. I wanted better looking legs, and so Jack was able to get DT Metals out here to build some custom metal legs to hold this up. Jack used that as a basis for building this.
Well, Dave and I went over the structure, how he could put all the right members in the right places, so I could put the planking on there accordingly for that tabletop.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And everything's fastened from the bottom up. See,
Right.
You don't see no screws, no hardware. I don't like fasteners.
No.
And so all of this is metal down in here. So DT Metals did all that infrastructure work, if you will, at Jack's direction. And then Jack used that as the basis for building the table itself. And with plenty of room for these beautiful juniper trees to grow without any kind of constriction.
We used redwood.
Yeah, redwood, yeah, right. This was a rebuilt patio table. The other one had been here for, Lord, 30 years and was showing its age.
I want to go and grab this.
Surrender to your sense of wonder.
Okay, you're gonna swing it out and then. is a family heirloom, if I could call it that. I have bought back in the early 60s when I was still in high school by my folks. I liked the piece, and it was an old stereo console, but certainly not configured for today's stereo components. So I wanted to keep the piece, but it needed, if it was going to be functional, it needed Jack's handiwork on it. Adjustments on those, right. So it's got.
So you're pleased?
I'm pleased, yeah, no, exactly. Because actually, Shelley, what I was trying to do here was to, as I mentioned, these stereo components used to be on a shelf over there against that wall, right under that window, and it was not enhancing that view at all. The old console had to be modified. So that's what Jack did. And then here in this, let me show you this here, I have all my CDs, and so Jack made these drawers where I can put my CD collection. Otherwise, what I was doing, I would get my CD collection out here when I was back, then I'd have to put them into a box, put them in somewhere in the workroom. Now they've just got their own place, and when I leave, all I have to do is turn the key.